I'm Elisabeth Larkam with Balanced Body Pilates, and I made up this exercise sequence, this movement sequence, because I was trying to create ways that my clients and I could more readily access the mid-thoracic area, not only in flexion, but a lot into extension, primarily into extension, because so many of my clients sit at their desks with a increased kyphosis and a forward head, and they don't have any opportunity during the day to access thoracic extension. So, here we go. Place your hands on the arc, the soles of your feet on a sticky mat, a steady mat, and move into spine extension and flexion. Press the heels of your hands into the arc, and the force from the little finger side of the heel of your hand will come up to the mid-thoracic area. Look back between your thighs. As you exhale, slide the carriage forward. Now on the inhalation, start the extension with your pelvis. The pelvis moves towards an anterior pelvic tilt, then lumbar extension, and then insist on coming through thoracic extension prior to the cervical extension. Maintain extension looking forward towards the frame of the reformer, and then start the flexion with the pelvis first, then the lumbar spine, then the thoracic spine, and then the cervical spine. A common error is this: whiplash of the cervical spine. Woohoo! Don't miss the opportunity to articulate the spine between the shoulder blades. Now let's change and stand onto the foot of the arc. When you stand onto this arc, that puts an enormous stretch through the plantar surface of your foot, through the gastroc, through the soleus as well. So to ease that intensity, place one foot forward and one foot back, and take a similar arc of the spine. Spine flexion, spine extension, extension, into flexion. Give the other foot a turn to come forward, and then both heels can press down into the platform, spine flexion. Remember that there's always a modicum of scapular depression working in this. So the posterior oblique sling system and the anterior oblique sling systems, both of those areas are at work. Now add a couple of rotator discs. Make sure that the discs are firmly planted on a sticky mat, or else the ground force through your feet will make them go backwards. Stand on the discs. Move into internal rotation, because internal rotation and spine flexion are paired. And then, as the pelvis moves into an anterior pelvic tilt, the femurs move into extension. This will make it easier for you to access thoracic extension. Maintain extension and external rotation, then the pelvis and the legs move together as you undulate through your spine. Exhale to come forward. Inhale to return. Exhale to come forward. Inhale to return. One more note here. As you're making the change through your pelvis, continue pressing away with your hands, with your arms, drawing your lowest front ribs up to your spine. So the whole column of your spine is supported by the deep front line, that's the deep front myofascial line, as well as the superficial front line. Those of you that study Thomas Myers Anatomy Trains will find this sequence is a beautiful way to integrate the deep front and superficial front myofascial meridians with the superficial back line together with the arm lines. Do you need anything else? Let me know how it goes. Bye-bye.